making sure children are healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeeding in school and in life. This is Our Children, a program brought to you by the Children's Trust. Good morning, I'm Ileana Varela.
And I'm Modesto Abeti Gutierrez, President and CEO of the Children's Trust.
And together we want to welcome you to Our Children. Did you know reading at grade level by the third grade is a leading indicator of school success and high school graduation? 88% of children who do not graduate from high school were poor third grade readers, and high school dropouts earn less than half of college graduates.
And here in Miami-Dade County, 40% of our kids are not ready when they enter school, and 1/3 of our third graders fail to read at grade level. This is why the Children's Trust has launched a community-wide effort to curb this problem, and it's called Read to Learn. Recently, we held our second literacy summit in 6 months with all of our community partners. It was a giant step in moving this initiative forward, and here's why.
I think I can. I think I can.
The first book my mother ever read me was A Little Engine That Could, and I'm still practicing on that philosophy.
I think I can. I think I can.
The Little Engine That Could is a story about perseverance and giving it your all.
I thought I could.
And that's what community leaders, educators, activists, and providers of social services are doing by joining forces to create a community action plan designed to significantly increase the number of children reading at or above grade level in Miami-Dade County. The initiative is called Read to Learn.
Too many children who come from impoverished backgrounds arrive at kindergarten and have never had a book read to them.
Currently, 1/3 of Miami-Dade third graders fail to read at grade level, which is a critical benchmark in their development, a time when they must shift from learning to read to reading to learn. And making sure more children succeed is something everyone can agree on.
If they read at grade level, they will be able to compute at grade level, they will be able to write at grade level, they will be able to conduct science at grade level, and I assure you that is a fundamental precursor to them graduating on time.
The church can serve as that place where their child can go, as it was in days and years gone by, and get the necessary attention, the necessary nurture, the necessary care that they need to be successful in today's society.
I want to tear down any of the barriers that we had before that separated the school system, the Miami-Dade County system, whatever. We need to come together, use all of our resources to make sure that they have the tools that they need to succeed in the future.
After months of meeting to break down barriers and come up with innovative ideas to reach parents where they live and work, to identify gaps in services and integrate existing resources more effectively, a blueprint is ready for implementation. While more complex items in the plan will take months or years to bring to fruition, getting more books in the hands of children is an easy place to start.
Pick good books, books that our children would gravitate to.
After the Community Action Plan was endorsed at the second Literacy Summit in 6 months, the Read to Learn book club for all 3-year-olds in Miami-Dade County was launched with dozens of children eager to sample the first book of the month.
Thank you for being here today for the launch of our Read to Learn book club. The book club!
These children also received a limited promotional backpack and book club registration materials to take home to Mommy and Daddy. School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho helped adjust a few backpack straps, and as an added bonus, kids even got a little story time with Mayor Carlos Jimenez.
Brad got a room upstairs. Dad got a room downstairs. But wait a minute, there's something wrong here.
The monthly book club is free for all children age 3, but parents are encouraged to register their children before their 3rd birthday to ensure a full year of fun and learning. Books are available in English and Spanish and will be mailed to the child's home. Children of this age were selected to expose them to books in the year leading up to pre-kindergarten. Developmentally appropriate books are being specifically selected to grow early literacy skills and encourage families to build home libraries.
My God, to see a child open a book and read, I don't know of many greater thrills in this world than that. And that's what we need for all children, the joy of opening a book and reading it and learning.
The Read to Learn Book Club is being funded and administered by the Children's Trust, Miami-Dade Family Learning Partnership, and Early Learning Coalition of Miami-Dade Monroe. To learn more about the Read to Learn initiative or register a child for the book club, visit thechildrenstrust.org. For questions about the book club, call 305-891-READ. Now, joining us now are three women who are very knowledgeable in the field of early childhood education. Blythe Robinson is the Senior Vice President and Chief Program Officer at the Early Learning Coalition of Miami-Dade Monroe. She is also a former Vice President of Reading is Fundamental. Brittany Birkin is CEO of the Florida Children's Services Council and the former Director of the State Office of Early Learning in Tallahassee. And Sylvia Lavilla, the Executive Associate Director of KidCo Childcare and a former board member of the Children's Trust. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I want to start with you. The ELC is donating books to the book club, and I know you're also reaching out to child care centers trying to recruit children.
Yes.
So how's the book club going?
It's going very well. We have over 2,000 3-year-olds signed up for the program.
That's pretty good.
Which is a huge accomplishment because we just really launched the club, so we're very excited about all the excitement that's happening with parents and children.
That's pretty good. Did you expect that many so soon?
Not so soon, so it's a wonderful surprise for us.
Yeah, that's good.
Blythe, why start with 3-year-olds?
We selected 3-year-olds because we know that many of these 3-year-olds, hopefully all of them, will be entering the VPK program, the Voluntary Pre-Kindergarten Program. So we wanted to give them a jump start to early literacy and set some foundation for them. So we selected that age group knowing that they'd have an opportunity to read more regularly than they're accustomed to.
Sylvia, we saw some of the kids there having a great time. Some 20 of those kids were from KidCo, right? How did they like it? What kind of reaction did you get?
Oh my Lord! As you could see in the clip we saw, they were really happy.
Yeah.
And they're already so knowledgeable that they're book club members, and this is a new term for them, and they're using it. And we're the best part is how parents receive that. They were extremely excited, and there was just a quick bonding there for something that was new that they've never had before, because we serve targeted areas in Miami-Dade County.
Brittany, your thoughts on why to focus on this age group?
3-year-olds are an extremely pivotal age in the development of a child. Before 3, typically when children have print awareness, it's more centered around the letters in their name, what's meaningful to them. At 3, they broaden their awareness and they start to understand basic concepts of print, and it's a natural place of their development to really bolster their language and reading development. So it's a wonderful age to pick and start a reading program, pre-literacy, and get their engagement early.
Blythe, obviously you have to know how to pick the books. So first of all, how do you pick the books? And more importantly, how can parents, what can you do for parents and as far as telling them what to look for?
We are working with a group of individuals who are very knowledgeable about children's literature to select books for the book club. We look for books that have different concepts, big and small, numbers, colors, things that parents can also do with their children at home, some of those items that they can reinforce. So parents should also look for books that have those concepts that they can extend in the household when having everyday conversations with their children, as well as books that are exciting for children. They want to see pictures of animals and trucks and swimming
that was
and
a big,
water.
Big one at my house,
Yeah, so that's how we select the books.
And even in the library, you can always ask the librarian,
Absolutely.
What's age appropriate, because I think that's the key, right?
Absolutely, you want to find books that are age appropriate for the children.
Sylvia, tell us about the art of reading with a child. It's more than just reading words on a page, huh?
Certainly. And Mo, it's so much. I think that the first thing I need to mention is that relationship between the adult, the reader, and the child. And in this case, we're making such an effort to get parents to be that reader. We certainly read to them at KidCo all the time, and they enjoy it. But now we're making this effort to have parents own the book with the child, make that connection and read. And of course the pre-reading skills that we've talked about, you know, left to right, top to bottom, the covers and so forth of the book. But the sounds, we find that our kids need to listen to the sounds. And they need parents to stop and point this out to them, have them also repeat sounds. This is something that we're finding out is of great need. And I think that the third thing that I wanted to mention is vocabulary. Increasing these children's vocabulary is vital. It is vital for their development, and this is what we're doing with the book club. We're empowering children to have a better vocabulary.
Well, that is a key word here. But it's not always easy for parents to know how to do that. So any tips on how parents can increase, all of you, you know, whoever has an idea of how parents can help increase their kids' vocabulary?
Certainly. In addition to reading books and making that part of a daily routine, there's so many things you can do that really don't require an extra time commitment that can be part of the schedule. Driving in the car, playing the alphabet game, looking for signs, pointing out words to children. You know, so often we think about the youngest children at the youngest age can recognize the golden arches and know that that means McDonald's, and that's pre-print awareness. So when parents have that conversation with their children, whether it be in the car or in the grocery stores, engaging in a dialogue about the foods that you're shopping for, what you're looking at, looking for the labels for the children, are all things that you can do and just absolutely fold it into your daily life and routine.
And that's one of the pieces of the book club. We have created a take-home sheet for parents to be able to extend the activities of after reading the book. So we are telling them, you know, use the time in the grocery store, when you're riding the bus, when you're walking down the street, to really use that time to point out colors and have a conversation with your child to really reinforce that vocabulary building.
That conversation is so important with my kids. Of course, they're a little bit older, but sometimes I use words that I know they don't know. And they'll say, what is that, Mommy? And then, you know, it opens the door for me to explain, bingo, another word that they've learned.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I think that the book club is also adding this platform for parents to understand that they don't need to be reading specialists or storytellers. Just reading every day, and children will ask you to read the same book over and over again.
Oh yeah,
it makes you better at
ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
For them,
exactly, your intonation, the way you know, your facial expressions are going to change because you get better, and it's your child. You know, so I think that that's one of the most favorable parts of this program.
Brittany, the campaign for reading by grade level by third grade has spread throughout the state. What's going on at the state level?
Very happy that you asked. You all have really led the way and brought awareness here in the Miami community of the need, and as you started out the segment with the statistics, and we know that this is a huge issue. And the major fundamental reality is before third grade, you're learning to read, and after third grade, you're reading to learn. So if our children are not able to read on grade level in third grade, then we've lost so much valuable time in their ever really being successful in achieving the student outcomes we would all want for all of our children. So with that awareness, we've really started to focus statewide on how do you reach out to families, how do you engage them, how do you make sure that, you know, the educators, the families, and the community leaders are all working together on this. In Tallahassee, we're spending a lot of time engaging the Chamber of Commerce and business leaders because this is part of our economic development, this is part of our viability for the state of Florida, certainly our future. We're focusing on 3 core components. We're focusing on school readiness. We're focusing on summer learning loss. We know in the summers, if children are not in enrichment programs, they learn so much of what they have learned the year before, and so they're starting at a deficit.
They lose a lot during the summer.
Absolutely. And then attendance. You know, if children are not in school, then they're not learning, and there is a direct correlation between children's absences and low performance in school. So we're really working to create an awareness campaign so that we can focus on these efforts and engage the educators, the parents, and the community to all support this very, very worthy initiative.
Well, we want to thank all of you for your contributions this morning. I think you have a lot of good information for parents. Hopefully more kids will join the book club, and then
we think so, yes.
And then you'll be really happy. So thanks again for coming. And now let's remind everyone of how to register for the book club, since we've been talking about it. There is no need to wait until your child is 3. In fact, you can register now, and then your child will receive a free book in the month of their 3rd birthday, and then every month after that until they turn 4 and then enter pre-kindergarten. So here you have it. All you have to do is visit thechildrenstrust.org to register online, or you can call 211, which is the Children's Trust helpline. You can also ask your child care center if it has a printed registration cards that you can fill out and simply return by mail. So 3 ways you can sign up. Up next, we'll be joined by 2 more important partners in the Read to Learn initiative, so don't go away.
Quality childcare is your child's start to a great future, so aim high. To prepare your kids to grow up to fulfill their dreams, the Children's Trust encourages you to ask your childcare provider if they're part of the Quality Counts program in Miami-Dade County. Quality Counts strives to improve quality in childcare by star rating providers on things like an atmosphere that promotes learning, teacher certification, student-teacher ratios, and so much more. To find a star-rated Quality Counts or accredited childcare provider near you, log on to thechildrenstrust.org or call 211. The most important 20 minutes of your day is spent reading to a child. Make books a part of your family's daily routine. Point to and talk about the pictures. Ask your child to repeat the words. Answer questions. Talk about it.
10 o'clock. Hey, that's really good.
Enjoying books together now helps children read to learn as they grow, ensuring success in school and in life. But their success depends on you. Don't let the children in your life become a statistic. For more information, visit thechildrenstrust.org.
When companies are looking for new locations to expand, one of the major factors they consider is the quality of the pre-K through 12 education in the community. They know that an educated population will provide them with the human capital that they need to succeed.
Reading is about family, reading is about togetherness, reading is about empowerment, reading is about community, reading is about building the future of Miami, the future of America, one single child at a time.
Welcome back. You just heard from the mayor of Miami-Dade County and the school superintendent, both talking about the importance of making sure that all of our children read at grade level. Joining us now are 2 new guests. The Reverend Johnny Barber is pastor of the Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church, and he's also moderator of the Florida East Coast Missionary Baptist Association. And also with us, Jay Jefferson, PTA president of the G.W. Carver Elementary School and a member of the Fatherhood Task Force. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pastor Barbara, I'm going to start with you. Some people may be wondering what's the connection between church and learning to read. Reason you're here because you do believe that churches and other houses of worship can help somehow in getting children to read at grade level. How do you do it?
Well, certainly, I do believe that the church can play a very pivotal role in this effort of getting our young people to read at grade level. The churches are right in the heart of the community. We have a captivated audience, along with the fact that we're interacting with these young people just as much as some of the teachers are interacting with the young people. And we believe that the church can become a reading hub for the young people to help them with their assignments and helping them to be able to accomplish the tasks that are laid before them as far as trying to get them up to that grade level. Not only do these young people need to hear about their faith, but they also must be able to read about their faith as well. And so we think that it's a very vital component that the church must be involved, married to the school system, to help with this particular effort.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Pastor Barber, there's no underestimating the importance of parental involvement in getting kids reading and succeeding in school. What is the role for religious organizations in this effort?
Well, many of our holy texts tell us that we ought to train up a child in the way that they should go. And so, therefore, the parents must be involved in the training up of the child. And also, because of this text being there for religious leaders, it also encourages us to encourage parents to be involved with their children. And so we have footing as far as the Holy Text is concerned to stand on, to take and to encourage parents to play a role in raising up their child. And the church, it acts as the village that aids the parents as well as aid the community as well as the school system in raising up their children.
Well, talking about parental involvement, I think we have the poster dad for for parental involvement here. You've got 2 kids just starting out in the educational system, and you're also president of the PTA, right?
That's right.
So what about the PTA? PTAs in general, how can they get involved in this?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the reason for the PTA is to really be a strong advocate, a voice for every child and their educational and well-being. So with respects to looking at education and reading in particular as being a cornerstone for every child's development, the PTA can really impact the Read to Learn program by being able to advocate for activities and events that truly give a child a sense of loving reading. I think that's paramount. So what we do at Carver is we have book fairs and we also sponsor the book club. So those are just 2 examples of just how the PTA can help in this initiative.
Oh. Jay, are you one of very few fathers involved in PTA, or is this becoming more prominent? What are you doing to get fathers more involved in reading and in school involvement?
Absolutely. I am not one of a few, let's put it that way. There are other fathers involved in the PTA. You don't see many fathers in the role that I play. I'm very fortunate. I work with 9 amazing other women who are part of our PTA board. In fact, my wife is the VP of membership. And so I have the support of a great team. I also have the support of a fantastic principal in Dr. Cheryl E. Johnson. So with respects to encouraging other fathers, I like to try to make sure that they understand that the organization is called the Parent Teacher Association. And fathers are in fact parents too.
Not just the moms,
so
right?
Fathers have a great impact that they can play in their child's overall education. So I think it's just about reminding them that fathers can be educators as well.
Sure.
I think that's a very important point, but let's face it, for the most part, fathers are not usually the ones that are involved. Mothers are the ones that are usually involved. So you mentioned the church playing a role in getting people to, tuned in to, early learning, early reading. How do you get the fathers? Well, for example, in your church, how do you reach out to the fathers?
Well, that's a segment.
And turn them into
turn into PTA members. Correct. that is a segment of struggle for churches, even having male figures involved in church. But we must continuously stress the importance to men in general, how important of a role that they play. I mean, there are studies that are out there that I've read that talk about how when a father is involved in their child's life, how that child stands a greater chance to succeed in school, succeed in college, and just succeed in life, And the male figure in a child's life is so important because the role model portion that they play in a child's life. I mean, set an example for the daughters as well as for the sons. Daughters will begin to see this male figure as a model of a male that she may later on in life so choose to involve herself with, and as well as that son seeing the male figure in his life, it begins to set a positive example and show him how he should be as he grows up in life and becomes an adult. And so we must stress that importance and show how vital it is and the urgency.
And are fathers receptive? Do you find them more receptive than, perhaps fathers from another generation?
This generation versus another generation?
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference challenge, and then looking at the difference in the challenge as far as trying to get this generation of fathers to embrace this need and embrace this responsibility. It is proven to provide some hurdles, but the way that I look at hurdles, the only reason why they're there is not to prevent you, but they're there for you to jump over.
Exactly.
And so that's what we must encourage. We must encourage these men that listen, it's a hurdle, it's a challenge. We understand the history and the past, but it's simply a hurdle. And all that hurdle was designed for is for you to leap over. And so we're seeing more and more men now coming around. I mean, Jay wouldn't be where Jay is at.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely.
Jay, you're not just a member of the PTA and its president, you're also on the Fatherhood Task Force. What is the task force doing to encourage reading?
The Fatherhood Task Force of South Florida is a great organization. It's dedicated to making certain that fathers have the availability to get involved and to find out ways to get involved in their children's lives. So in response to the Read to Learn initiative, the Fatherhood Task Force of South Florida has set up a reading squad, a fatherhood reading squad, and that's where fathers go into the classroom and they actually read to the students. So it takes that opportunity, again, to have fathers understand that they're educators and that their presence has a great impact in their children's learning. So we hope that Carver Elementary will be the pilot public school to launch this initiative, and the Fatherhood Reading Squad is a wonderful vehicle, which I think that not only encourages fathers to participate in school, but hopefully allows them to see that there's other opportunities, such as in church and their local communities. So it's a vehicle that does a lot, and so the task force is actually really excited about launching this initiative.
And are you getting the recruitment process of getting dads involved? Is
Absolutely.
That actually working out?
You know, it's very interesting.
Oh, yes.
Moms and dads think a little different. We've traditionally been told that our role is more behind the scenes. Right. As a president of the PTA at Carver, I really want to make certain that fathers understand that, you know, your presence is just as important as the mother. Again, it's the Parent-Teacher Association, and fathers are parents. So it does take a little bit more of a conversation, as Reverend Barber said, in terms of making certain that fathers understand. But they do come around, and so they are joining, and it's a wonderful sign that I think that we're living in a different time. And fathers understand that they also have a responsibility to play with respects to their child's learning.
Well, obviously we have a lot of developments in the Read to Learn initiative that we're going to be talking about. We're going to stay on top of it. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have, I'm afraid, for now. So remember, parents, read with your children every day. Monitor their progress at school closely as they grow, and stay involved. And if you know the parent of a 3-year-old, tell them about the free Read to Learn book club. Very important. You can help as well. I'm Ileana Varela. On behalf of the Children's Trust and Modesto Abedi, I want to thank you for watching this edition of Our Children. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org or call the Children's Trust helpline at 211, because all children are our children.